So the ritual sound approach is something I developed to be able to unlearn that conditioned mutism by going from nonverbal and utilizing the transitional stage of communication by shaping sounds into words. And he was perfect for that.
Yeah.
He gravitated to it. And what was very interesting or very wonderful about Leo is he wanted help desperately.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Like, you came to me and it wasn't a resistant 8-year-old. He was like, I want help. I'm stuck.
Yeah. And just to go back on the method, and I think with the prop, because in the beginning we were using the feather, and that was huge for him. So even when we came back home and started, applying all the tools, having that feather with him, adding people to the club, the feather was really important in the beginning. And then, over time, he was able to transition out of using the prop. But anyway, so I think that because since he was diagnosed at such a young age, and, then we went through COVID and there was no pressure, right? COVID was a dream for a kid with SM. Like, you just stay inside, right? So I think like as he got older, we were able to communicate about it more, right? You could talk to him the older he got, and he did it. He wanted to. He's a very social kid. That's the funny thing about it, right? He's so socially outgoing once he has his, like, that adds kids to the club. And I tell some of his friends now, like, he's the loudest kid of all of the friends, which is hard to believe, but he is once he gets there. But he just, he expressed how much he did want to talk to more than just one or two friends. Adults, girls in his class, not so much, right? But the friends, it's
not till
it's
he gets a
definitely
little older, will the girls,
Yeah, but the kids, I mean, he just wanted to go out there and play basketball with a bunch of kids. And I mean, that's really the big thing, which we later found basketball was the kind of the gateway we used into that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot to talk about. First of all, when you brought up the feather, one of the things we'll add to the show notes is a handout on the ritual sound approach. It is unique in the sense that it needs to work for that particular child. And for Leo, when we're showing him step by step by step, taking sounds and shaping them into words, you have some listeners that are like, wait a minute, my kid's 13 years old. There's no way he's going to blow a feather. And what I would say to that parent, the first part of treatment is helping them understand the bridge, where they are, and respecting their space and knowing where they're at, not saying, well, look, you're not verbal. Here's what we need to do to get you verbal. It's, hey, this is really hard. This is really scary. I get it. And helping them understand their feelings. So a big part of what we did, and it started at camp, whether we did it through camp or individual care, is helping him understand his feelings, helping him understand the bridge. He was very instrumental in putting himself on the bridge and seeing where he is, and step by step by step. And the first step for the sounds to words approach or ritual sound approach, and we do this with adults that are stuck. We work with an adult. Dr. Jenna worked with an adult I guess it was a week ago, that flew in, had been mute for 6 years.
Wow.
And that sounds to words to unlearn that conditioned mutism does work. And so for Leo, holding that feather was almost like a security. And so the first step for him was focusing on that prop. And I have a lot of kids just holding something as they start to do it, to bridge up and shaping sounds, whether it's blowing feathers, shaping sounds, using wah-ha. So, again, I want our listeners to understand what it is, not so much the specific steps that Leo took, because some kids will do it in different ways, and Leo needed that feather. But what was wonderful is we knew that, and we helped him be empowered by that. And he wanted the help, and he wanted his friends to be part of this. And some kids don't, so we have to start with adults, and we have to start slowly. But one of the reasons Leo was so open and so willing is because you are such a supportive mom. When I think back on working with you and knowing who you are, one of the things that has always stood out was how accepting you are of Leo, and never making him feel that he wasn't doing enough, that you really always did meet him where he was, not expecting him to do more. The problem was you didn't know what to do. And so what happens is parents don't know. This isn't their expertise. So you need to work with someone, whomever it may be, that you feel this is making sense. You have always been the most supportive mom, and he feels that. And when a child feels that you're meeting them where they are, not that you don't love them, because we have parents saying, my child won't talk to me about it. I get that. But part of it is, where are you at in this process comparison to where is your child? Are you all the way up and you need to speak, you got to speak, but your child is back in the, like, I just can't do it. Like, I'm locked in here. I can't do it. And you have, like, testimonial to you is what a wonderful, supportive, understanding mom you are. So I know I say it to you a lot, but you really, really are.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you are. And he feels that. And he trusts you.
Well, it's real. And I could see how difficult it was, and people that don't understand it, it didn't matter, I had family that didn't understand and just said, oh, he's just shy, he'll grow out of it. I knew that wasn't the case. I was a shy kid. I have an older son who was a shy kid, and we grew out of it, it was different. So
it's about functioning, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't functioning.
Correct. He couldn't function. If you're going to school and you can't participate in school, I don't care if it's kindergarten or whatever, then it's a problem. So, and for the most part, everyone has been incredibly supportive and understanding on this journey, so to speak. And he feels that.